Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to get right into the weekly reading for the sign of Libra. This is going to be the weekly for November 3rd to the 9th. And I do appreciate everyone for stopping by. I do appreciate all the support, especially to my regulars and to all you newcomers. Thank you so much for stopping by this video today. We're going to get right into pulling out your angel messages for the week. And if you are new to my channel, this is how the weeklies go. Every Saturday I upload, premiere all of the weeklies, and we start with the romance angel messages, then the animal spirits, and then we go into your actual tarot forecast for the week. Getting to know each other. So this is indicating perhaps a new love connection or a new relationship coming in. Deception. Uh-oh. Somebody's wearing a false mask in a relationship or a dynamic. And we have calling in your soulmate. All right, I do pull 3 cards, guys, because we look at multiple scenarios that you may be going through this week, Libra. And oftentimes I find that there is a running theme through the forecasts. But let's go ahead and get into your animal spirits. We're really not going to know what this all entails until we see them and until we get into your tarot spread. Getting to know each other, deception, and calling in your soulmate. Interesting indeed. Gemini had an incredible reading. So it'll be interesting to see what yours is going to be like. Second air sign. All right, Libra, let's see. Now, animal spirits can be representative of people coming into your life and their characteristics or personalities, stages that you're entering into, or energies that are becoming available to you to help you through a particular time in your life. Straight out, we have the Phoenix. Wow, all right. This just came out in the exact same position for Virgo. And we have the starfish, which is, of course, water energy. Phoenix is ether or spirit. And we have the nightingale, air energy. Now, the nightingale, certainly coming out and calling in your soulmate, is a really special animal spirit that really doesn't come up often in my readings. But let's go ahead and review. So, this Phoenix came out for the last reading for Virgo in the same position, and so this promises to be a week of letting go, rising from the ashes, allowing pain and strife and troubles of the past, things that are negative, that affect you negatively, affect your emotions negatively or your psyche negatively, letting those things go, letting them truly go, not just putting them behind you and remaining angry, but truly letting them go and letting them dissolve into the ashes, into the fire of transformation, and allowing you to really come out of it as the Phoenix free, right? Phoenix is associated with the first chakra, which is the root chakra, and is, of course, associated with life and death and rebirth, reincarnation, reinventing yourself, right? And certainly burning off karma. When we really let go of the negativity of the past, part of that is we let go of that negative karma that is associated with it, that we continue to bring into our lives by dwelling on it, right? When we dwell on negativity or we dwell on pain that we're really unwilling to let go of, that, you know, the reason why it's continuing to hurt us is because we're unwilling to let go of. We also hold on to the residual negative karma associated with it, right? And so this is why, you know, sometimes you have people like, I don't understand why things just aren't working out for me, and it's just like, everything's just like it used to be back in the day when I got my heart broken. Well, because you're holding on to this kind of festering pain, this negativity, this blockage, and you're also holding on to the negativity that it brings into your life. And so in this way, the Phoenix burns that off, and you really rise anew. Starfish energy is in, and this is water energy, and with the starfish, we're talking about dealing with someone who is overly concentrated on the outside, on their looks. They're certainly very attractive, this person, right? Person who resonates with starfish energy is going to be attractive, going to be the type of person that gets everyone's attention, but it's really for, you know, superficial reasons. It's for beauty or the way that they look on the outside. And this dominance, this prevalence, I would rather say, this prevalent attitude of relying on the exterior, relying on their good looks to get the satisfaction, to get the feel-good factor, because this is a water element, right? Is really kind of a disservice, right, to the starfish, because starfish energy individuals do have more to give. They have something inside of them that is very beautiful and valuable to show to the world. And so people who resonate with this energy, they're only really hurting themselves by relying on the superficial sides of their life or their looks, etc., the superficial things in life, rather than giving rise to the deeper qualities that they have, right? And it's really a pity. And so with starfish energy, we talk about certainly a feeling coming in. If you're either dealing with somebody like this is how they're coming off. Or if you're feeling like this, it could be that right now you're starting to feel like, you're tired of relying on that. You're tired of all of that. And you have more to give. You know that you have deeper qualities that you'd like to show to the world, and not to be afraid, right? Because oftentimes starfish individuals, people resonate with starfish energy because they're afraid that if they show the deeper sides of themselves, they won't be accepted, or they won't be accepted as well as they're being accepted now for their outer beauty. But this is just a fear, and so getting over this fear is also part of starfish energy. Nightingale energy is air. Okay, and so here we're talking about a beautiful nightingale. Now, the nightingale is generally on the surface an unremarkable bird. This bird is a very plain looking, small, brown plumed bird. However, it's when the nightingale opens up its beak and sings that we see the true beauty of this animal, the real just awe-inspiring voice and sound that we hear. Nightingales really are, and I don't know if any of you have actually heard a nightingale before in the wild, but I have, and it is really an incredible thing to hear. Now, the nightingale is associated with great singers, obviously, poets, people who speak well, orators, people who are inspiring with their voice or with their words. People who are motivational speakers could be also associated with nightingale, certainly poets, spoken poets. But in any case, the nightingale has an ability to heal, to help, to soothe with its voice. And nightingale energy is really beautiful to be around. When somebody is resonating with this energy, their voice is extremely soothing, and what they say is also a comfort, right? They're able to comfort anyone. They're able to relate to people with their communication, and more than anything, they're able to provide this kind of really magical environment for those around them. And certainly for those of you who are singers or aspiring artists in that way, if you are resonating with nightingale energy, then you certainly have a very great talent indeed. All right, guys, so let's get right into your spreads for the week. Libra, we're going to go ahead and pull out anywhere from 4 to 8 3-card forecasts for the week. Now, please just take what resonates with you and throw the rest away. If something doesn't sound like your situation or doesn't resonate with what you're going through, then it's not for you, okay? Oftentimes I get comments and people are like, well, but my situation isn't like that. If your situation isn't like that, then that forecast isn't for you. And this, we already know that this reading can't be for all Libras, right? And so if you do resonate with anything, then that is wonderful. And if you don't, just disregard it. All right, you may, of course, relate to more than one or none of these forecasts today. All right, Libra. Let's get right into your first outlook, which is going to be you coming straight out into your reading, Justice. Of course, this is your tarot card, Libra. So you show up right away in your own reading, which already is indication that this is your week to shine. You come into the week very much in your own skin, feeling very balanced indeed. Um, yes, Libra, justice is your card because it is the card of balance, but it is also the card that talks about balance coming in. Some of you may indeed be waiting for an actual judgment of some kind, a decree. It could be that you're actually waiting for a divorce settlement, a separation agreement, a business, some kind of business. I'm going to say this is going to be in the realm of love. So this could very well be something to do with, like I said, wedding, divorce, separation. Excuse me, some kind of official decision that's coming in that's also meant to bring a certain amount of balance. You are, for those of you where that isn't the case, in any case, Libra, you are coming in with the week. For most of you who are resonating with this, you're coming in this week feeling balanced in your own life, right? So you feel good, right? You're showing up, you're feeling good, you're feeling balanced, you feel like you have everything where you need it to be. You're in control sort of your path, right? And you're met with a Four of Cups, which is someone coming in to offer you a cup of love. And it's interesting because Four of Cups is kind of generally like, no, I don't want it. You know, the Four of Cups individual is somebody who, 4 is the number for stability, and this card can be interpreted a number of ways, right? But in this case, I'm going to say for some of you, this is because you've already found balance in your life, and this cup that's coming into you is not a balanced cup. Someone is offering you a cup of love, and you're not really sure what that all entails. They don't seem to be proving that this cup of love has indeed stability associated with it. They're just kind of handing you an offer, and you're just not convinced, and you feel like you need more because I think for some of you Libras, you've worked very, very hard to get to this level of stability and balance in your life. Could have been after a period of a lot of struggling and trials and tribulations, fighting perhaps and arguing, right? Could very well be that some of you have come out of a negative relationship and you finally just gotten yourself back into your Libran sweet spot, right? With this Justice card, and you just don't want any of that rocked with these kind of, it seems to be very suitors who may be coming in but just they're not proving that they have what it takes. You end the week with a Queen of Cups, interestingly enough. And so I want to say you end the week certainly feeling as though you want to express more of your heart and your love. This is not to say, I'm going to say, Libra, this is not to say that you don't want a connection. You just don't want this connection. This particular connection that comes in is just not proving to be up to the level. But you end the week, I want to say for some of you, this encounter or this event kind of gets you even more in touch with what it is you do want. Because you kind of, I think, Libra, a lot of you wake up this week with this person coming in, or this event, or whatever the scenario is this week, right, happens, and it kind of like, what it does is it makes you more sure of what you don't want, and also more sure of what you do want. And you end up this week very, very sort of like in touch with what it is you do wish to have in a love connection. And you really come out the week feeling much better than you were when you came in. You come in with that Libran balance, but you also come out of the week with sort of an even more open heart chakra, and ready and waiting, really ready and receptive for a lot of this love abundance that is probably going to be coming in December. 7 of Swords, 6 of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. So some of you are coming in this week with a sense of futility. 7 of Swords talks about really having a feeling of nothing really working out, right? 7 of Swords is the card for haste, futility. It's the card of, really making a half-hearted attempt at things and not really succeeding all that well. And so part of it is that, Libra, for some of you, you come in, you really feel like you've tried everything. You feel exasperated in a particular scenario. And, you come in this week with that attitude. For some of you, it could be that you have been dealing with somebody who's really been kind of an obstacle in your way. They may be resonating with the Seven of Swords energy in the sense that they're always coming at you with something, They're always coming with some kind of bullshit, some kind of, something that ends up being your problem or your responsibility, right? You're trying to get on with your life and work methodically. This could very well be somebody like a relative, right? Or a child that comes in and is always like getting into trouble. They're always getting into trouble, or they always have some kind of problem because they're just not willing to put their best foot forward. And you may be really feeling harassed with this energy this week. Coming in, and then you are met with this Six of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles is how it turns out. I want to say for some of you, this could very well be a case of dealing, like I said, with a loved one, an older child perhaps, even could very well be an older child or a sister or a brother, someone that you have a really close connection with this Six of Cups. You've known them for a while. I feel like it's a very tender family type of connection, right? And you're kind of like, you're the one who always has to deal with them, right? Every time something goes wrong, they come back to you. It could be like a nephew or a niece, right? You could be their aunt or their uncle. But it's just like, once again, you have to kind of deal with them. But you love them, you care for them. And I think you end up the week really, really deciding in a lot of ways that I feel like almost you get them help, right? You end up the week with this Queen of Pentacles energy, which feels like you've kind of had enough of doing it all yourself, and you know that this is a long road to get this particular individual kind of healthy. I feel like this resonates with somebody in your family who may be addicted or dealing with drug addictions or alcohol addictions, or you may be dealing with a teenager who's just constantly like getting into trouble, doing crazy shit. You can't get them keep them in school and stuff, but you love them, you care for them, and you do end the week realizing that this is really going to take a lot more than what you thought it was going to take. And for some of you, you may decide to actually get therapy for this person, or get help, or rehabilitate this person. It's really strange because the Seven of Swords energy is very kind of it's self-sabotaging negative energy, right? But it's surrounded with so much love with the Six of Cups and this Queen of Pentacles. And so that's why I feel like this could very well be a family situation, or a situation with someone that you are very, very fond of, very close with, and that, it's their toxicity that you're kind of dealing with this week, and you want to really get them the help that they need. Knight of Swords, Three of Cups, and a Page of Swords. So some of you, again, come in this week with a Knight of Swords energy, which is like you're feeling really kind of excited, ambitious, right? You're on the path of achieving something really, really great, right? You may be just about to break some news or something that, an example will be if you've been working on a particular invention or some kind of business or a product, or, some kind of a book or something, some new kind of inspiration or idea that you've been working on. And then it's like, this week it just starts to break, right? The news starts to break, or you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel of what you've been pursuing, this goal that you've been pursuing with this Knight of Swords, right? The Knight of Swords is really sort of enthusiastic. He's a great cheerleader. He comes in to kind of save the day when there are problems or obstacles in the way of achieving a particular goal. He's the one who will come in and sort of really clear the way for you mentally, keeping you clear, keeping you thinking clear. And in any case, you feel this way. You feel like you're on a really, really forward momentum, right, to achieving a particular goal that's really, really close to your heart, but something that, you created, that came out of your mind, your beautiful mind, Libra, and you have a celebration. Three of Cups comes in and you have a celebration, right? This week is really about, I'm going to say for some of you, if you are singers or writers and you're resonating with that nightingale energy, this week it all kind of, You know what I mean? You get your rewards coming in and you get your celebration and everybody recognizes what you have achieved, right? It's really, really nice energy. And you end the week with a Page of Swords, which is like, it's funny because it feels as though, I almost want to say like this is almost like a party that celebrates your book signing or whatever, or your new job or your new, whatever this endeavor is. And then out of this party comes another idea for something else. It's almost as if this propels you into yet another project, you know. This is for the Libra, who's a very social Libra, and what they do in their, you know, whatever path they're on in their lives is a path that is that deals with a lot of people. It's very social. You probably go to a lot of parties. There's a lot of art and creativity involved. And certainly this most recent kind of achievement that happens this week really propels you yet again to start another beautiful project that will probably be, you know, you will be celebrating at some point later on. Death. Wow, the Devil. And Strength. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to end on that reading. 3 major arcana: Death, the Devil, and Strength. Change comes in. Transformation comes in, Libra. Big, big changes in your life. Sweeping changes. Very much Phoenix energy. Phoenix and Death go certainly hand in hand. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I know some people look at the Death card and they think it's terrifying. I love this. This to me makes my heart sing, because this means that there's a big change happening, a big quantum leap coming up, and change is affecting every area of your life, emotionally, physically, your environment, your abundance, your spiritual abundance. But the Phoenix talks about rising and being free. So this change promises to be one for the better. Promises to be one that brings you into a better environment for yourself. And in comes the Devil, which is quite interesting. As this change happens, right, forces begin to come in. I want to say energies begin to come in that may be trying to block that change. This could be in the form of people who don't want to see you move on, who don't want to see you rise from the ashes. This is going to be a very real sort of negative energy that comes into you that tries to drag you sort of back into your defenses, back into sort of negative behavior patterns, self-destroying behavior patterns, addiction, codependency, being a slave to instant gratification. The Devil isn't about evil or good. The Devil is about either releasing ourselves to rise higher and ascend through our creative impulses, or being addicted to instant gratification because of our creative impulses, which then leads to addictions, toxic relationships, etc., etc., etc. All the things that we associate with being evil or dark. These are really just our creative impulses when they're stifled or they're cut off, or the outlet for it is cut off. That's when we descend into that type of negative behavior. And so this is what I mean. This kind of, whoever is trying to pull you into this negative side of yourself because they see this phenomenal change coming in, and you end the week with the Strength card. How incredible is that? Because you find out strength is all about boundaries and borders and knowing your strengths, knowing when too much is too much, and knowing when to give in and to accept help, knowing when to play to your strengths and not to your weaknesses. And so you realize this week, some of you, the strength that you get is realizing that certain people aren't good for you, right? And the best way to get on with your life is to get rid of those people. One of the things they always tell you in therapy is people, places, and things, right? When you're trying to change your life, or you're trying to get away from negative behavior or negative influences, the first thing you have to do is accept that certain energies affect you stronger than other energies, and the best way to have a healthy life is to get away from them, to accept when, to give in, and to realize that in the face of all of that negativity, you're not necessarily going to be able to stand strong all the time. And so you leave, you move away, you pull away, you put boundaries up, you put borders up. You don't allow people to cross those boundaries and affect you negatively. Putting up borders, putting up boundaries, putting up criteria that people have to fulfill in order to be close to you is all about maintaining your strength. It's all about maintaining your emotional health. and maintaining your vision for yourself. And that is strength. And so you realize that this week, and you really find your strength to say no. Right? You find your strength to say no. You're not going to come in with your deceptive ways. You're not going to come in with your negativity. I am free from this. Phoenix energy is absolutely at play here because you're freeing yourself from the tethers of old behavior patterns, right? They no longer affect you, and you wake up and realize, man, I don't have to suffer with this anymore. I don't have to suffer feeling, am I going to succumb? Am I going to be weak? You're absolutely not, because you totally transform and rise above. Very intense reading to end on, and I'm going to leave it at that, Libra. This is your reading for November 3rd to the 9th. I hope it resonated with you. Please help me grow my channel by liking, subscribing, sharing the video with your other social media platforms, or commenting below. All of these little things are really important to me, and they really help me grow my channel. And for right now, other than that, Libra, have a wonderful, wonderful week. I shall see you next week for your next week's weeklies. Bye-bye now.